Am I reading that correct in the chat? Doom has a job? All right, buddy. Yeah. It's time. Oh, man. Net and gross pay back in your life, baby. I'm proud of you, bud. Another awesome episode of Dynamite. Oh, I'm too excited. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. Let's start the show. Yeah, this is, I'm actually saving this on the playlist because this is actually kind of dope. Oh, Jesus. This is what happens when you're caught, like, watching your own stream. Oh. Where's that coming from? Oh, it's coming from my phone! All right, we're good. What's going on, everybody? Another great episode of Dynamite. We're on, what is this, episode 16? Smells like Wrasslin. I'm your host, Eric Colon. Again, with another review of Dynamite. I mean, let's be real. Aside from Dynamite, there's been some crazy shit happening in the world of wrestling. Sasha Banks and Naomi walk out, apparently just leaving the titles on the table, taking their ball and going home. That's a fucking story in itself. I gotta rant about this women's division tonight, guys, because whatever. I think I have some great ideas on how I feel like I have some great ideas on how to improve that division and what's wrong with it. Some good shit tonight. Well, let's see. Let's get into this first. Sasha Banks, Naomi, apparently right when Raw starts on Monday night, go into Vince's office, drop the titles or it was either Vince or John Laurinaitis, but drop the titles on the table and just bounced. I mean, listen, I don't know what the ins and outs of their contracts are, so, like, I don't know, like, what sort of actual ramifications there are for this going on. I mean, could Vince fine them, like, for real? Could he fire them knowing that they're most likely going to go right to AEW and become a huge deal? I don't know, man. But no one plays hardball with Vince. Like, nobody. Not even the United States government. They tried to play hardball against Vince. And he won. You know? Hogan. Warrior. Like, bigger names in the business than Sasha Banks and Naomi have tried to go toe-to-toe with Vince. And have not worked out. So I don't know how this is all going to shape up. But I'm telling you this right now. I was at the first TakeOver Brooklyn in Brooklyn at Barclays, all right? I was at the first, like, TakeOver that was outside of Full Sail. That was the Sasha Bayley match. Like, that match was awesome. You know, I mean, I wanted Sasha to win because I was a Sasha mark at the time. I really didn't care for Bayley, but, like, that match was still awesome. Like, I was there. That crowd was going off the chain. That to me was the peak. Like, that was it. You know, after that, like, it was almost like after that, they knew what they had. And when they came out and did the 4 Horsewomen thing, like, I was like, they're being packaged, they're being marketed. Like, this is it. This is the beginning of the end. I knew it. I also knew it when Paige joined, the anti-diva, joined the show Total Divas. I knew that then also, all right? Because that show ruined that poor girl. Ruined her. Threw her into, like, a real world, you know, like, MTV sort of life. It tore her down, and it ends with her getting injured at a house show against Sasha and never returning. That women's division, when the 4 of those women were on that stage and they threw up the 4 fingers, like, I knew that was the peak. That was as good as it was gonna get. This is the best they're gonna be before someone screws them up. Then they did the whole PCB thing, which was that Paige, Charlotte, and Becky, and they did, like, the and then became the hot potato that those 4 women had with the belts. So Charlotte, and then Sasha, and then Charlotte, and then Sasha, and then Charlotte, and then Sasha, and then you threw in then when Becky like popped off, you throw out Becky. They had Bayley on whatchamacallit, on SmackDown. They had Alexa Bliss also like winning titles. She was one of the women that was, that came up from that class. But that was it, man. That was it. They didn't build up anybody. They had Asuka, and I don't know for the love of Christ why. I mean, she's a great wrestler, but like, she can't tell a story. Like, she can't cut promos. It's just, nobody's ready for Asuka, and like, that's it. Like, I need more from a story. You got, like, if you want me emotionally invested, like, I need more. And like, Sasha and Asuka can't give it. The best, like, the peak for Asuka, I thought, was when she fought Emma at TakeOver London. I think that was her first match, and then that was it. She just went undefeated. She ended up winning the NXT belt. She ended up just relinquishing it, going into the main roster, still winning, wins the belt, and then I think loses to Carmella on a SmackDown. Oh my God. That was it, people. Those 4 women in the ring, TakeOver Brooklyn. Mark the date on your calendar. The peak of women's wrestling in the WWE. Because after that, it went straight to shit. And you know what? The talent is there, man. The talent on the mic is there. The talent in the ring is there. All they need is for someone to book them like they're worth a damn. And it's obvious that Vince, outside of the main women's belts, just to keep the company image, he doesn't give a shit about the rest of that roster. And the booking is evident. And if you're satisfied with the booking that they have right now, fucking shame on you. Because those women deserve better. They deserve better booking than what they're getting. Unbelievable. The implosion. They're walking out. They're literally walking out. They put the WWE Evolution, they made a pay-per-view. All right, it was in Long Island. They never did another one. Never. Oh, she lost the streak to Charlotte? She might have lost the streak to Charlotte. It looked like after that, it didn't matter at that point. Like, Charlotte was already ruined. She was already a 14,000 time champ in like 5 years. Unreal. Oh man, I weep for them. And then there's reports of people saying like, oh, Sasha shouldn't complain. You know what? To be honest, she shouldn't complain. She signed a contract extension. How the hell did you not know what you were getting yourself into? This women's division has been booked poorly since before you got there. But you know what? You went in there. You had these dreams built up by Daddy Triple H saying, oh, Vince is gonna love you girls. You guys are gonna be great. When after it was all said and done in hindsight, Triple H had no say in what was going to happen to those women after everything was done. No say whatsoever. He made promises he couldn't keep. And they were sold on those promises, and they bought those promises, and they continued on into the main roster with those promises. And a couple of those women woke up, and they were like, this is the way that it is. And some of them haven't. And by some of them, I must mean it's got to be Sasha. The only one who's still talking about the integrity of the belts. The integrity of the belts. That doesn't sound like a sports entertainer to me. That sounds like a pro fucking wrestler. Unreal. The implosion of that division. The absolute implosion. They have the best they have more. That women's division has more talent than the AEW women's division. But the AEW women's division, they're not booked that Here's the problem. Okay, and this goes into my whole. I was gonna save this for the Maki Ito match, but I'm gonna say it right now. This is my whole. Now we have the other end of the spectrum. We have AEW. AEW, they actually give the women time. They give them story. The Serena Deeb shit tonight was fucking awesome. That promo she cut was great. And Texas wanted her. You guys are fucking morons. That was a great fucking promo you were seeing. A great promo from a division that's been trying to get respect, and to be honest, hasn't really earned all of it yet, in my opinion. All right? You guys are on the same roster as Bryan Danielson, Kenny Omega, some of the greatest wrestlers of our time. All right? If you need to be that good. You need to be that good. And I don't care if you're a woman or not, you need to be that good. All right? Because because what's happening is like you're watching a show progress and the show is booked based on the ebbs and flows of the crowd. If you don't meet up to your fair share of the bargain in terms of that ebbing and flowing, and you're coming in there and putting on dead matches because either A, no one's emotionally invested in it because you have people who can't tell a story on the microphone, or you have people who can tell a story on the microphone, but they can't tell the story in the ring. There's not enough total packages in AEW. All right, Thunder Rosa, fantastic wrestler. Do you hear her on the mic at all? No, they don't put her on the mic at all. Serena Deeb is carrying the heart and soul of this particular feud. I care about this feud because of Serena Deeb. And the caliber of Serena Deeb's the challenger. But I'm about to say that the caliber of Serena Deeb's champion is worthy enough that this is going to be a good match that I kind of care about. They threw Dustin in there to add a little bit of the razzle-dazzle in the storyline, but like, who out there is telling a story? Chris Statlander, she looks different, acts exactly the same. Delivers her lines exactly the same, just less of the, that's all. She's good in the ring. The match that she had with Britt Baker at All Out, that was awesome. And I think that particular build-up was because Statlander was destroying everybody. She came back from injury. And she was mowing everyone down. So that was the story. She was on a hot streak. She's a crowd favorite. Now that she was winning, people were like, hey, she should go against Britt. And that's how the story came up. You have to build more types of those stories in general in AEW. But like, the problem with like the women's division is like some people can't tell a story. Like you have Anna Jay, she's still learning. But AEW is not like a teaching company. They're not training anybody. These guys are finding people on the roster and wrestling schools to train. So like, here's the thing. Like if you're not ready for television, then you shouldn't be on TV. You should be on Dark and Elevation only. And then maybe build up to a spot on Rampage. And then if you've done enough good stuff on Rampage, then I should be seeing you on Dynamite. But the internet has to have a men's division and a women's division, regardless if they're ready or not. So this is like people wanting their steak, and they want it, they want it well done, but they want it now. You can't have a well done steak now. That's not how it fucking works. Shit gets cooked, and then it becomes cooked. Cooking takes time, all right? I don't know how to fucking cook, but at least I know the time in the microwave. But you're gonna put uncooked meat out there, and that's what you're gonna get. So I don't blame Tony completely. I don't blame Tony because I don't blame Tony completely. All right, because he could be booking. He's gotta have better ideas than what he's coming out with right now. You know what I mean? But if one of the ideas was to let Serena Deeb go out there and pour her heart and soul on the mic, fuck yeah. I almost want Serena Deeb to win. She made me more invested in that match than Thunder Rosa has. All right? Oh, yeah. And Richie, that's a good point. They're not even giving Thunder Rosa matches on TV. Why do I care? She won the belt. She's just sitting on it. She's not wrestling nobody. She should be having matches and the same thing with Hangman Adam Page. Hangman Adam Page, you see him wrestle once in a blue moon. Like, I need to see him a little bit more often. This, again, is another problem stemming from that there's too much talent and too many storylines and not enough television time. This all goes back to the same thing, people. I say it every single week. AEW has all the necessary ingredients to be better, to improve year over year. They don't have the television time to tell all the stories they need to tell with the talent that they have on hand. That's all. Now what you're seeing is more of these multi-man matches. Now you're seeing tournaments to get people reps and be able to tell stories a little bit easier because you have that plot device of a tournament. We have a three-way tag title match at Double or Nothing. Thank Christ. So what's going to happen between Sasha and Naomi? Who knows? Who knows? I and you know what the fucking sad part is? You know what this fucking sad part is because I obviously can't get any of this information firsthand. Like, who the hell am I, right? So, I get this information based on people who have done reporting. So who even knows if what's true and what's not true? So I am basing it on pretty much the general gist of the story. All right? There are a lot of people who say that there was arguments between Sasha and Vince about where the story was going. Vince didn't want to back down. Neither did Sasha. Is that part true? Who knows? Is that part not true? Who knows? Them putting the belts on John Laurinaitis' table, was that part, with suitcases in hand, was that part true? Who knows? Who knows? Who really knows? The only two people who know what happened without a shadow of a doubt are Sasha and Naomi. And they've said nothing. All we know is that I think Ringside News came out with something, and Sasha's husband was just like, this is absolute baloney. So, well, hey, listen, when the WWE isn't talking and Sasha and Naomi aren't talking, all that's left is speculation. Well, but the extent of my online speculation is this episode right here. I have no interest in engaging in wrestling Twitter. Idiots. All of them. Anywho. Woo! And we didn't even get to Dynamite yet, people. God damn. All right. So, to start my night of disappointment, because I really wanted the fucking Garganos to debut tonight. Everyone who knows me knows how big of a Johnny Gargano mark I am. I've met the dude in real life. He's fucking awesome. To this day, he put on one of the greatest matches I've ever seen. Was the 2 out of 3 falls match between him and Adam Cole at TakeOver New York. I was live for that match. It was the greatest match I've ever seen. It was, and I saw Omega and Danielson live. It was the greatest match I've ever seen. It was awesome. So I want Johnny fucking Gargano in AEW, where he could put on banger matches like he did in NXT and have better storylines and all these cool things to do. So, but it wasn't him. It was John Morrison, now known as Johnny Elite. Actually, let's go through the rundown of tonight's show. All right, so we have the two Jokers are going to be both the men's Joker and the women's Joker in the tournament. We got the Owen Hart Foundation's bracket. Hold on a second. I lost my spot. There we go. The Owen Hart Foundation men's bracket. It was Samoa Joe facing a Joker. Then you got Kyle O'Reilly versus Ray Phoenix. Or Phoenix, whatever you want to call it. Then you got Jeff Hardy versus Adam Cole. Women's bracket was Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, versus the Joker, who we didn't know who it was. Hangman Adam Page was facing Konosuke Takeshita. And CM Punk's on commentary. Wardlow's 10 lashes. Again, MJF, lashes. But this time, I thought it was interesting. We're going to talk more about that in a bit. Jericho and Regal are supposed to have a face-to-face, even though they were about 50 yards away from each other the entire time. Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland are supposed to be in tag action against the Workhorsemen. Anywho. So the male Joker was John Morrison from WWE. Real name John Hennigan, now known as Johnny Elite. He was fighting Samoa Joe. It was kind of like their timing was off, and it was a little bit sloppy throughout the entire match. So I'm just like, all right. I mean, listen, the guy's been on the shelf for a bit. He's on national television for the first time in a while in front of a brand new audience, not doing Vince's shit, doing like wrestling. So, whatever. It's a pass for me. You know what I mean? Fine. It's your first match. It's your first match on television. I get it. Joe works a little bit of a different style. Johnny is a high flying parkour kind of dude. doing all these flips and stuff, and like Joe's more of a submission specialist. He's gonna ground and pound you, and he's gonna punch you and chop you. So it was a little bit of like a styles clash there, but you know, at the end of the day, Samoa Joe won, and then he gets attacked by Sanjay Dutt and Jay Lethal and Satnam Singh. They hit Joe in the shoulder with the pipe, so I can only assume that Kyle is gonna work the shoulder during that match. I mean, I can't see Kyle O'Reilly versus Adam Cole in the finals because like they're on the same. We've seen that already. They're in the same faction, so I can only assume that Samoa Joe makes it out of that match with O'Reilly by the skin of his teeth, but he's so fucking injured that Adam Cole pulls out the victory and wins the tournament. So, you know, that's how I see that being booked forward after tonight's attack. Joe is supposed to face the winner of the Phoenix versus O'Reilly match, which I was surprised in how that ended and who they chose to win. We'll get to that in a bit. The Hardy brothers are backstage. Jeff's all wrapped up from that match with Darby getting massacred. By the way, yes, I know I said I was going to do a show last week. I was at the show live. It was fucking incredible. The Darby match was the highlight of the night. And the MJF segment was also pretty awesome. You know, it was an awesome show. Rampage was pretty solid. Seeing that they're setting up trios matches. I mean, I'm so happy, especially since word came out that, like, yes, the trios titles are created. They probably, I don't know how they're going to do it. If it were me, I would book a tournament this summer and have it end it all out because it's the biggest show of the year. You know, unless you're going to do that at Grand Slam, because I'll be there. You know, I'm down for that. So, you know, we'll see. So now we have the Hangman Page match. CM Punk joined on commentary. You know, it was a great match. I knew Hangman Page was gonna win, but you know, it was a solid match. You know, both guys could go. Obviously, it's great to see Hangman in the ring doing what he does best, showing us why he's the champion, wrestling top tier talent and beating them. The formation of Hookhausen was Rampage last week. I honestly thought that Danhausen was going to team with the Ass Boys and become a trios team. But hey man, him teaming with Hook is great. But I'm letting you know this right now. They are a crowd, like they're like the team that, like, even though the crowd hasn't seen them wrestle, I guarantee you there's people out there already talking about how they should win the tag titles. Now listen, when people like a team like they do Hookhausen, you got to be careful because you book them very sparingly. You book them to beat guys that aren't too awesome, have them beat teams like the Workhorsemen and shit like that, but you do not have them start pulling together a streak of wins on Rampage. You do not do it, and you do not have them pulling together a streak of wins on Dynamite. You don't do it because I'm telling you right now, those television crowds are going to want them to win the tag titles, and that'll flip over that tag team division something fierce. I know, Richie, you called it, dude. You did call it. You did call it. You said Hookhausen from the beginning. I know. But, like, I left after the last match of Rampage. I was tired. I'm old. I wanted to go home. Whatever sort of dark match Tony had, I didn't care. I left the arena. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I'm excited. Hookhausen is definitely gonna end up. I mean, they're doing the buy-in awesome. It's gonna get the crowd pumped definitely, and people want to see Danhausen wrestle, and it hasn't really happened yet. A team like Tony Nese and Smart Mark, that's perfect, man. They're you know, I like Tony Nese. He's a solid wrestler. You could use him for literally anything if you just, you know, like put him in a storyline, give him a mic, and you give him a good story. He could deliver the lines and be excellent in the ring. He could play a face or he could play a heel. Tony Nese is awesome. And he could do this role to perfection. He's going to put these guys over. Definitely. It's going to be a great match to start, you know, Double or Nothing. So that's going to be pretty cool. End of the match, Hangman and Punk have a stare down. Listen, Punk's going to win that belt, man. I mean, no way you have Hangman beat Punk. No way. If he does, I'd be shocked. But I mean, like, like I had kind of predicted this early before they threw Punk in the mix. I just didn't think that Punk was going to necessarily be a part of that list. But my prediction is that you put over, Hangman, when he won, was the biggest. He was like the biggest babyface in the company because he had this like storybook tale, and Omega was like this arch villain, the greatest wrestler in the world, super heel or whatever. And they built up Hangman that you're like, yeah, man, this guy, he could fucking do it. This could be the guy to take out Omega. And they did it. Hangman, like I say on multiple episodes, he's just been the victim of facing contenders that weren't necessarily built up. They were just guys that they threw at the champion, and like we were supposed to care, but like not really. We want story. You just gave us an excellent story with Hangman and Omega, and like now you're gonna rob us that story because you're gonna put a couple of like, mentionable people in front of Hangman's path. You know what I mean? Like Adam Cole was a victim of that. Like no way he should have been fighting Adam Cole shouldn't have been fighting for a title unless he was gonna win one. And to be honest, like with the role that I thought that Hangman was supposed to be going on, it wasn't Adam Cole's time, and of course Adam Cole lost. You know what I mean? They fought twice actually, and he lost. So it's not his fault that he had weak contenders. It was the fault of the booking, to be quite honest. They weren't booking strong enough contenders. So like but if I were the one who was booking it and I was setting up, a consistent stream of contenders for Hangman to fight, you know what I mean? Like Hangman should be fighting like nobodies while like the bad guy is fighting like progressively better people until he gets to a caliber you're like, shit, man, I think this guy might beat Hangman. But then Hangman pulls it off. You know what I mean? Like the reason why, I'll go back to something that I remember when I used to watch WWE. The Hardy versus Orton angle. Hardy was whooping ass week after week. He was like swantoning everybody. He was getting people caught with the twist of fate all over the place because it was a move that you could hit out of nowhere, just like the RKO. He did the thing where he, I think he freaking crushed Orton from like the top of a whatever. You know what I mean? Like I went into that Royal Rumble and I went there live. It was at MSG. It was the night that John Cena came back at 30. I literally thought that he was going to win because they made me believe it. Like he had people that he had beaten that were worth a damn. You know what I mean? Like I never got that with Lance Archer. I got that with Bryan Danielson. I was like, shit, man, they might actually have Danielson do it because Danielson was destroying everybody. He had that tournament. He was beating everybody. Hey, Sarah, I'm so glad you're here. Hello. It was, like those I cared about, but like Lance Archer didn't really care about. Adam Cole, like Adam Cole should have been a guy who should have been taken more seriously and put together like a more impressive streak of victories against more notable people. Like he should have been beating guys like Pac and shit like that, but whatever. So like if I was booking like steady champions, I would have made the biggest baby face in the company just having awesome banger matches and having a great title reign, and that leads up to the most despicable heel in the company, which is MJF, building himself up and having these victories and going through this and going through that and then finally coming through and winning, even going through his own trials and tribulations and losing, just like how Hangman lost and then he had to build himself back up again. You could have him lose to a guy like Wardlow but end up like, blah, blah, blah. So like, all that shit could have happened, but it might be Punk. Punk's been built up enough. I and many other people have been led to believe this guy might actually beat Hangman. This might actually be the guy to do it. So, Doom, I think he's a little overrated. Archer. I mean, I think, honestly... No. You know what? I take that back. I think that he hasn't been used to his fullest potential. And sometimes in booking like this, really, I mean, how much can he do, to change his character? You know what I mean? So I don't know. I would say, oh yeah, that he is a Jake the Snake employee. I mean, you can't dispute that. Anywho, a promo aired with Fuego del Sol. He's calling out the House of Black because he's an idiot. Now he's got the Dark Order, which makes him even a bigger idiot. But whatever. Okay, here we go. Here's some interesting shit. So Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland, they are getting wins on Dynamite. They're getting wins in front of an audience that matters. They are getting wins in front of the audience that buys the fucking pay-per-views, okay? So I'm led to believe that these guys should be taken seriously for title contendership. And sure enough, at the end of the match, they say they're in the top 5. They've got enough wins. They don't have the losses. They should challenge. Then you got Starks and Hobbs, who are actually the number 1 contenders. They're saying, like, screw you guys. There's no way you're getting a shot before us. Then you got the actual tag champs. So you know what? They made a fucking 3-way tag match. It's going to be fucking awesome. Hobbs and Starks are incredible. Strickland and Lee are incredible. Say what you will about Jurassic Express and the reign that they've been having, but they're a good tag team. The 3 of these guys having a tag team, you got 3 monsters, and you got 3 cruiserweights that could fucking go. No, you have fucking, yeah, you got 3 cruiserweights who could go. Yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. Going to be a great match for Double or Nothing. I can't fucking wait. Double or Nothing, we're going to go over the card more in detail. Already looking to be a real fun show. Hold on a second. All right, anywho. It's going to be a great match. You know what I'm talking about? I like how they kind of shit on the FTW title. It's going to be awesome. Oh yeah. Also, hold on. I'm checking to see if someone's actually joining the chat, because if that happens, I'm going to fucking laugh my ass off. So I'm actually looking at the viewership and checking, seeing if something happens. If that does happen, I'm shouting this person out. If not, they're not getting a shout out. Anywho, so we got, Christian was the one who talked for, there she is. I cannot believe that Allie is in the chat right now. Yes, this is my live show that I do every Wednesday about fucking pro wrestling. Yes. So even though I really want to watch, yes. Yes, you rat. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm gonna read what you I'm gonna read what you sent me. I'm gonna read what you sent me later, but you're more than happy to see me do this shit right now. All right, so here we go. So it's gonna be a great match. 3 of like the best tag teams. I think it's gonna be it's gonna be freaking awesome. I can't wait. It's gonna be a pay-per-view worth getting. All right, so we got Chris Statlander and Red Velvet. They were backstage. Velvet's a heel now. She's with the Baddie Squad with Jade Cargill, and Chris Statlander just dresses differently and talks the same and does the same shit. Oh yeah. So she is. So if anyone's paying attention to the chat right now, the human rat trap that she's referencing is the one that Johnny Knoxville did to Sami Zayn at WrestleMania. Now I can't tell you why this is particularly funny between her and I, but it fits so many things. So okay. Anywho, I digress. Ali, only you could throw me off in this show. Only you. I can talk about wrestling the entire time you show up, and it's all over. So she's acting the same, and she's doing the same, she's doing the same shit. And Statlander's like, it's strictly business. I'm like, okay, I just want to see some, like, okay, she has a different demeanor, fine. Okay, you want to say she has a different, like, yes, I noticed that there is some sort of, like, tonal change in this. But, like, I just, like, I need to be, like, emotionally invested into why she is who she is, and I just haven't gotten that yet. So, Human Rat Trap is a mood. Oh my God, she took over the chat in one moment, in one fell swoop she did. All right, so we have MJF gives Wardlow 10 lashes. Listen, this is the second fucking time that, like, MJF has, like, whipped someone on national television. Like, why is this a thing? So, but the twist that they put on this was awesome. So Wardlow comes out, he's in handcuffs, no shirt, looking fucking ripped, walking out, and they get the belt, and here we go, and one, and he's like, I almost thought that, like, he forgot to sell it or something like that. Not even, didn't move a muscle. 2, nothing. 3, nothing. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nothing. Sean Spears hits him. 9. A little something. And then the 10, he kicks him in the dick. Shit. It was great. It was awesome. Wardlow shouldn't have sold those. He should make MJF look like a weak, weaselly little bitch. He should make him look like a fucking rat. All right? That's what he should make him look like. And you know what? That's exactly what he did. But like all rats are fucking cunning, and they got fucking brains, and they could survive. So MJF is a rat, kicked this dude in the dick and beat the shit out of him. So, I mean, listen, Wardlow's got to win. Wardlow has to win at Double or Nothing, and he has to powerbomb MJF like a ridiculous amount of times. Because what's gonna happen is he's gonna be. I pray to God I'm right, people. I pray to God that I'm right, because then I want you to clip me saying this and send it to all those motherfuckers out there who have like 100 times the follower count than I do and have no idea how to book this shit and have no creativity and no foresight. If I'm right on this shit, I want you to fucking screenshot this shit, and I want you to send it to all those motherfuckers and tell them this guy from New York got it right. Months ago, he booked this shit. Months and months and months. I have a record. All right, we're on episode 6 fucking teen, and I predicted that shit. All right, so what's going to happen is Wardlow's going to powerbomb this poor fucker into oblivion. And then who's going to come out as the Joker in the Battle Royal? It's going to be fucking MJF. And MJF is going to be out there, and he's going to be holding his back, and he's going to be creeping, and somehow he's going to weasel his way into a victory and gets and win. And be the number one contender. And what's going to happen is, because he was so fucking destroyed, he's going to be gone from TV for like a month. It's just going to be this whole, when's MJF coming back? When's MJF coming back? When's MJF coming back? And that's going to be the question that's going to haunt CM Punk's entire title reign. And it's going to be something that's going to suck the joy out of his reign. This whole happy-go-lucky Punk, he's never going to be able to enjoy that title reign, because he's going to be waiting for MJF to fucking cash in that fucking token, and he's going to do it, and he's going to do it, and he's going to do it like a Weasley rat man. What he's going to do is he's going to challenge him, and he's going to challenge him for the title at All Out. And he's going to beat him in Chicago in front of his hometown. I'm calling it right now. I'm fucking calling it right now. Right now. All right? And if that shit happens, fucking tag Tony Khan and just be like, hey, this guy predicted this shit like months ago. You need to hire him. The guy with 4 viewers right now, and I think I have 16 followers. You're a billionaire, Tony. All right? I'm available. Anywho, Roppongi Vice is backstage. They say they're going. They're a full-time tag team. You know, Orange Cassidy's hurt. I don't know what happened with Chucky T. So, whatever, they're going to be a tag match. They want to go for all the tag titles, and they challenge FTR to a match. It should be a good match. FTR should fight real tag teams, and Roppongi Vice is a real tag team. Owen Hart tournament quarterfinals. Kyle O'Reilly defeated Rey Fenix. I was shocked because I would have loved to have seen a Rey Fenix and Adam Cole final. I guess that's not going to happen. But it was a great match. Kyle O'Reilly is amazing. Rey Fenix is one of the best wrestlers in the world. You just put together the fact that there are two great wrestlers and they're fighting in a tournament to see who's the best. Awesome. Yeah, I know you got a job, Doom. Good for you, buddy. So whatever. So it was a great match. O'Reilly's going to fight Samoa Joe in the finals. Samoa Joe compromised from the attack from Jay Lethal with the lead pipe. So you go into a match with a guy like O'Reilly, who's a submission specialist, and this match kind of writes itself. The only thing I could think of is that this softens, like, you soften Joe up like a motherfucker for Adam Cole, because you're going to have your freaking ROH television champion probably lose clean. But this is as clean as it's going to get by him being jumped by Jay Lethal and decimated by fucking Kyle O'Reilly before he beats him. And then he goes on to face Adam Cole, takes Adam Cole to the, and Adam Cole gets taken to the limit, Adam Cole wins. And then that sets him up to be a favorite in the trios tournament with him and Red Dragon. So we'll see. Chris Jericho and William Regal have their face-to-face. I do like the fact that now their thing is they don't allow anybody to sing Judas anymore, which I think is pretty funny. Magic Magic Matt for over 10 weeks. Sports entertainers. I love it. It's the funniest fucking thing in the world. Anywho, so Jericho basically, roasts everybody in the Blackpool Combat Club. Calls Danielson a nerd. Said he would have had to join the program with Moxley if he kept on going because Danielson's straight edge and Mox just got out of rehab and Regal's a former addict. Jericho said for Regal to get the hell out of there, he's going to throw a fireball in his face because he's a wizard, because he freaking fireballed Eddie Kingston a couple of weeks back. It's just, Regal said, oh no, when Regal said that the only, he said that Jericho's voice sounded worse than the sounds of a burning orphanage. The crowd didn't know what to make of that one. I thought that was fucking hysterical. Then he basically said that that back in the day, Regal took Jericho's toothbrush when he wasn't looking, when they used to like travel together on the road, and brushed his asshole with it. Because, Jericho had that moment in WWE where he peed in Regal's tea. So, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then, Jericho challenged them to a stadium stampede. And basically Moxley said, I'm not going to do this bullshit. And they're going to have a match. They want to have it at Double or Nothing, 5-on-5. Gang warfare. I don't know what the fuck that means. I'm assuming it's just an all-out 5-on-5, and the first team to score a pin wins. Fine. It'll be a cool buffer match for, like, other shit that happens or whatever. I mean, granted, you have, like, excellent wrestlers in there, like Moxley and Danielson and Jericho and Kingston and Santana and Ortiz and 2.0 and Hager. You have, like, 10 wrestlers who are great, and they're going to probably have a match where they're not, I'm hoping they're going to have a match that has wrestling in it, instead of having a match where they're just, like, beating each other, instead of a Jon Moxley match. I mean, I don't mind Jon Moxley matches, but, like, you know what I would have loved to have seen? Blood and Guts. It's called Double or Nothing. 2 rings would have been apropos. Who knows? Maybe they'll still have it. But it should be, they're 5-on-5 already. They're 5-on-5 already. Just have Blood and Guts. When was the last 5-on-5 match that they had at a... Oh, wait a minute. No, that was a 3-on-3. Yeah, because it was Christian Cage and Jurassic Express for okay. All right, so I don't know, but 5-on-5, make it fucking blood and guts. Stop being dumb about it. All right, enough. And but like I get it, they're probably gonna do it to raise a TV draw, and being that if you listen to the guys who follow the business, the latter half of this year should be pretty important in terms of the financials and business of AEW. You want to get those great ratings so you can negotiate a good contract and finish out the year strong. It would make sense for them to possibly hold off the booking of something like Blood and Guts for something later in the fall. But you kind of need something to anchor like the springtime, summer. So, Grand Slam is a great kickoff into what will be a really high-end, I think, latter half of 2022 for AEW. Grand Slam leads into All Out. All Out leads into Full Gear. And so, and Full Gear leads into Winter's coming. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, Blood and Guts, I think, is part of the quarterly whatever thing for television, so it'll probably be on TV. But, I mean, why waste the 5 on, I just don't know. They should be Blood and Guts, and it shouldn't be a Double or Nothing, but whatever. They've already built it up enough. You can't turn back now. But then the Blackpool Combat Club and Kingston and Santana and Ortiz, they get into it with the Blackpool Combat Club. Like, they're all guys who have pretty much beaten the shit out of one another and hated each other. Now they're all going to come together. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. So we'll see how that breaks down. Owen Hart Cup quarterfinal. This was it's Maki Ito. All right? I know, people like her. I don't. All right? I don't like the gimmick. I don't get it. So, is she good in the ring? Fine. I don't like her character. So, I don't care about the character, which means I care less about what she does in the ring because I don't care about the matches that she's in because I don't care about the character. That's just the way that I operate. All right? And I think it's perfectly logical. So here we are, and I mean, first off, I was hoping it was going to be the Garganos. I didn't want it to be Johnny Elite. I wanted it to be Johnny Gargano. So I was cheated to Johnny. And then instead of Candice LeRae, it was Maki Ito. So listen. Well, I think I already said my piece about the AEW women's division, but it's just listen, you could feel the air get sucked out of the room when it was Maki Ito. Like no one gives a shit. You know what I mean? Sure, there's a group of hardcore fans who know of her and watch her, but I'm not one of them, man. I'm not one of them. And to be quite honest, that crowd isn't one of them either. Yeah, I didn't care about the match. You're 100% correct, Doom. You're 110% goddamn correct. Yes. Yeah, I'm 100% super. Yeah, if you're watching this right now, you're 110%. I get super passionate about it. I get super passionate. I love this stuff. I love it. I love the storytelling. I will go. I've said this before. Pro wrestling is taking the Rocky movies and making them episodic content. Great stories with great in-ring action, and it's intoxicating, and I love it. She took a screenshot. That's great shit. I'm having fun tonight. All right, so it was a great match or whatever. Britt Baker won. Toni Storm came out, who's going to be her challenger in the semifinals, and stared her down. That's going to be a good match. You want to know why? Because Toni Storm thinks she's the best. Britt Baker thinks she's the best. They've proven that they are good at what they do. Toni Storm could wrestle, and she could cut a promo. The same thing with Britt Baker. This is going to be an awesome match. They're two completely talented women. I'm invested in this match. It's going to be fucking great. Yeah, Richie, that's not a bad point. Saying that the, whatchamacallit. Yeah, both of the Jokers losing, it was kind of okay. They didn't even qualify. But you know what? They didn't qualify. So technically, they should have lost. Anywho, Siobhan. Oh, so here we go. This is my favorite segment of the night. Shivani comes out and announces that next week's AEW's 3-year anniversary. Serena Deeb comes out, says she was tired of hearing him talk. She said that she felt like she had a lot to say. She wasn't getting enough respect. She called out Dustin Rhodes, called him a failure. She talked about all the stuff she didn't mention WWE, but she talked about all the stuff she went through in WWE. She got breast implants. She shaved her head. They still gave her no respect. She wanted an answer from Dustin why, because Dustin was actually there during that time and he couldn't answer it. No. She asked Dustin why. Because both Tony and Dustin have gone on the record saying that Serena Deeb cannot beat Thunder Rosa. And she wanted to know why. After all the dues she's paid, she wants to know why she can't be the one to beat Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa, she comes out. She gets in Deeb's face. She gets held by Dustin. Rosa throws an elbow, hits Dustin, rocks him for a bit. She turns around to check and see if she's okay. Deeb's picked up the belt, waffles her with the belt, and basically lays her out. And she escaped. It's going to be a good match, man. It's going to be a good match. Thunder Rosa and Serena Deeb, they could go. I mean, hey, man, it'd be pretty cool if, it might have been a little bit of a Sasha reference, Doom. It might have been. She went in there, you know what? She expressed having to go into the same room that Sasha had to go into with the same guys, and she had to fight for her job. And you know what? And she lost, and she got buried, and she got released. But look where look what she's done with her career. She was NWA Women's Champion. She should most definitely be an AEW Women's Champion at a certain point in time. I don't think it's this point in time because I think this is Thunder Rosa's second or third. I mean, she won the title on St. Patrick's Day Slam. So she hasn't, her losing it at Double or Nothing. That's a pretty short title reign for Thunder Rosa. But who knows? Maybe they'll do a trilogy of matches. Maybe they'll do one now and then a rematch, and then you don't hear again from Serena Deeb until later, and then she's the one who beats Thunder. I mean, who knows? I mean, I'm trying to think of who else is gonna win. The only other person who I can think of beating Thunder Rosa is possibly like a Ruby Soho, or a Toni Storm, or a maybe a Chris Statlander if she does something more. If they do something more with her character than they have. So I don't know. Should be interesting. Whoops, lost my notes. And oh yeah, I totally forgot about the Hardy Brothers segment. I went off on that tangent about Rampage. Jeff was all banged up, and the Bucks basically, whatever. They're building up a match. It's happening. I just don't know when. Maybe at Double or Nothing. I mean, you don't build matches around this time right before a pay-per-view without planning on putting it on the pay-per-view. And to be quite honest, the Bucks and the Hardys don't need too much of a build. They're the Bucks and the Hardys, so we'll see. Face to face, Serena Deeb, Maki Ito. So the last match of the night was the another semifinals match where Adam Cole defeats Jeff Hardy. He attacked Jeff Hardy before he even got into the ring. Jeff Hardy's all beat up. He still attacked him. They went back and forth, blah, blah, blah. Cole avoids the Swanton Bomb, lowers the boom, and gets the win. Young Bucks ran down, acted like they were going to freaking super kick the Hardys. Cole ended up clotheslining the Hardys from behind. And then they hit the BTE trigger. And then Sting and Darby came out. But then Red Dragon came out and took out Darby. And then Sting got Pillmanized by O'Reilly. So it's going to be Cole is going to face the winner of Kyle O'Reilly versus Samoa Joe in the finals. It only makes sense that it's going to be Cole versus Samoa Joe with a very beat up, very injured Samoa Joe and Cole getting the win, obviously, because, that's good booking. So, yeah. But that's it, guys. That's the show for tonight, man. I got nothing. I poured my heart and soul into this motherfucker tonight. But I had a lot of fun with you guys. A couple of people joined the chat who I never expected to join the chat in all my life. So I am super happy that they were here. They're two of my best friends, so I'm thankful for that. So thank you. All of you guys, Doom never misses a show. Love you, brother. Richie, I'm gonna see you at work tomorrow, motherfucker. Everyone else, it's been a great show. Tonight was a fun night. Solid episode of Dynamite. The road to Double or Nothing continues. It is my birthday week this week. Yeah, so I'm gonna enjoy myself. Oh, it's John? Yeah, I love you, buddy. Thanks for, bro, I think you were one of, like, the viewers for the whole thing. Thanks, man. I appreciate you, brother. Thanks for the support, dude. But yeah, man, I'm going to enjoy a great week. I'm going to be, incommunicado for a couple of days, but I'm going to definitely be, definitely living life up. Life is good. All right. We got great pro wrestling. We have a great pay-per-view coming. I got a great chat with great followers. You guys are all awesome. I will see you next week. See you guys later.